This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on!
Game on!
Here we go. We are back with another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, episode number 73. Wade Hampton with me tonight because Paul Rank is at a Sharks game. They're playing good. Celebrini's doing good, so I'll let him have it. Justin taking care of some stuff back home. He's busy wrapping up his job for the end of the semester and that kind of stuff. So just you and I. So it'd be kind of a quick one tonight, do some different things. The drink this evening, yes, I am back to old fashions because I'm close to Christmas and definitely needed it. But broke out the good stuff tonight, drinking a little Belfour. Still one of my favorites. I'm actually going to stop by Macadoodles in Garden Prairie tomorrow. I'll be down in St. Louis here. I might swing over there and check out their bourbon selection. So if you're around the Missouri area, go check them out.
Nice.
Of course, nice. It doesn't hurt either that Mike McKenna is one of the owners. So I'm going to stop in there, hopefully see if he's working tomorrow as well.
Nice. Good to see you.
Give him a hard time. And speaking of drinking, there it is, the Drink Your Face Off line. I know Mitch was putting up some pictures of different sizes of hoodies and stuff that he had, hoodies and shirts. They're not going to make it for Christmas at this point unless you live down the street from Mitch. But if you want those for a New Year's present for somebody, you can do that. So how you been since the last show?
Good. Always good. You know, everything's going well. Just like everybody else, kind of gearing up for the holidays, watching stuff come in the mail, which is a topic of conversation tonight. And, you know, just watching hockey continue to gear up and the season go on. We're getting inching closer to that Winter Classic, so I'm excited for that. Besides that, all is well.
Yeah, and for anybody that has, I think it's TNT or TBS, and then also has the Max app, you can watch, if you're not a Blues or Blackhawks fan, you may or may not care, but the Road to the Winter Classic is on. I've been watched the first 2 episodes, and they're only 30 minutes. I wish they were an hour, but it's neat. They jump back forth between the teams. It's nice to see the stuff that we don't normally get to see, the back end things going on, and I feel bad because the episode that they put out last week, they interviewed the Joseph brothers. Of course, they're playing for we're playing for the Blues, living together, and then P.O. Joseph got traded last night. So
rough situation.
And it sucked because in the interview they said they were excited about playing in the Winter Classic together. So that's not happening now. But that's the business of hockey. Some other stuff going on around, and there are I went looking, and it may be with the holidays. There are no auctions anywure.
No, it's
it
really,
does
really
have Connor McDavid stuff, but that's it. NHL auctions has no game use stuff. The only auction I kind of found, and I didn't go digging for individual team things, but AHL auctions has a mystery pack of nameplates. You can either get, I think, 2, 3, or 5 nameplates, and the price varies, but it's random. You don't know what teams they're from. They could be from the playoffs. They can be from their All-Star game. I thought that was kind of interesting, but a
little different.
I do know Vegas. I was hoping they would put them online, but they were only doing it at the store last week. They did do some more grab bag stuff, but I haven't seen much pop up on it. So that's
pretty slow. I got the classic email from Game Worn Auctions, I guess, is looking for consignments.
Because they did not do a fall sale like they normally do.
Yeah. And their one before that was, I mean, in my opinion, a little light. So that's kind of interesting. You know, they have not really done a lot to change the system that they have going. So it makes it harder as technology continues to change that if you don't make some adjustments, so that's interesting. That'll be interesting to see where that goes. Love to see them have an auction because obviously the more auctions, the more stuff that's out there, the better it is for all of us collectors to find a gem, as they so say. Not a lot going on.
No, a lot of people have been moving stuff, but that's
Yeah.
it's upticked a little bit. But I think some people just get kind of end of the year antsy with wanting to move some
Yeah.
and focus and that's good. And for anybody that's picked up stuff or moved stuff, good for you. The biggest thing is I hope it got delivered in a reasonable amount of time. Was just telling Wade off the air. I have a jersey that was coming from Wood River, which is basically a town on the Illinois side, not far from St. Louis. It takes me hour and 25 minutes if I was to drive there.
Yeah.
Jersey was set 2 days ago. Tracked it. I'm like, oh, it'll probably be here either today or tomorrow. I mean, again, seller's been awesome. Shot me the stuff as soon as it went. I track it. It's in North Dakota. No idea why, but it was routed to North Dakota from Wood River. It should have hit St. Louis and then basically be processed up to Springfield, but it's currently in North Dakota. I asked Justin to pick it up for me because it's probably close to him. But I mean, and the number of other people I've seen posting about extended delivery and not even to get started with Canada and the strike going on up there for Canada Post.
I actually got one from Canada really quickly the other day,
Really?
and the seller, he didn't use Canada Post, obviously. And I was like, oh man, I wonder how this is going to work. And he's like, no, I got it covered, and hats off to him. Cause I was expecting that 2 to 3 week process, and it was quick. And, he used one of the app things that a different thing, and it got here fast. So God bless that. Cause it was one I wanted to get in the house. So
yeah. And if you're hoping to get somebody something by Christmas, it is extremely tight. I think today or maybe tomorrow is your last day for that.
Today was the last day for Blues, their STL Authentics. I actually got a couple of gifts for people from STL Authentics, some just outerwear stuff, and they had a countdown on their ticker that said this is guaranteed before Christmas, and it had a countdown till when you had to order by and get it shipped by. So
nice, can't wait to receive it.
Yeah, it's on its way, man. Merry Christmas. Christmas.
Figured I'd throw you off with that.
Yeah, no, man. We'll always take care of you. So.
And speaking of buying things and international in Canada, for any of us down here that are going to be buying from, and we'll see how long it sticks around, buying from any of the Canadian teams.
Yeah.
The exchange rate, holy hell.
Yeah.
You're really going to do well if you're buying from Toronto or Ottawa or the teams. I know there's the individual sellers, and I feel bad for them if they're doing Canadian funds, and I get it. Frustration, but if you're buying from teams from the US into Canada, you're making out like a bandit. So Absolutely. Check Toronto. I know the Toronto Maple Leafs always have a bunch of stuff up there for sale. Even down an auction, just buy it now stuff. So there may be some good deals you can find there. I know they ship FedEx, so it shouldn't take them too long. For buying. I don't know if any other teams have stuff. I wanted to mention a little bit of a Fanatics review. He didn't have a ton of pictures. I should have asked him for more so I could share them. It's Matt Carr. He's on the Seattle Kraken page and had one of the white jerseys, their set one, worn for 14 games. So I messaged or put a comment on his post in the Seattle Kraken group and just asked him, hey, what's the wear like? He said it was he felt equal to Adidas. Like I said, I wish I had some more pictures of if it was more stick marks or if there were many burns, things like that. The player, and I should have wrote it down and the name escapes me, said he's not a heavy on the boards player, so there wasn't a lot of big burns and things like that, but felt that it was equal wear to the Adidas side. So that's promising. That's the only, and anybody out there that's picked any set ones up, home or away from other teams, let us know. I kind of not scour the groups, but I'm always kind of keep an eye on it. I've not seen many people post at all.
No, it seems like the set ones have definitely lasted a little longer this year. And
we saw some comments for the Avalanche like that too, that there are some delays. So is it a Fanatics delay? Is it a team lettering delay? We don't know, but we at least know some teams are able to do it if Seattle's had theirs out there.
Could be interesting to see if teams go with 2 sets rather than 3 sets if they push them out long enough. So
Yeah, and if they do, that'll be a bonus for everybody, unless you're hoping to pick up jerseys a little bit cheaper since they wear more. Because if they only wear a couple sets, you're gonna have better wear
absolutely
across the board there. Even with the home teams wearing
multiple
third
different
jerseys and different things, where you don't get as many games underneath it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've got going on around the league. I will say, holy crap, and I don't know if it's because of the volume of jerseys they sold or what, but or the team, the way they're playing, everybody's pissed even in the sales office. But the Sabres just shipped stuff out on Monday.
Really?
And that's been damn near 3 weeks ago, that auction.
Yeah.
So
NHL auctions always seems to take a long time, and I wonder if it's because it goes. I wonder whose hands all that stuff goes through. Does it because Fanatics is tied into NHL auctions, and where do those jerseys go, and then who has them, and then how does the packing process work? I mean, it's kind of interesting.
And maybe it's the transmit of the data or something. I can confirm though that the jerseys are coming directly from the Sabres. Because that was what the tracking info says. It did say Buffalo Sabres on it. So,
well, yeah, that's too long. I mean, it really is. The expectation of shipping is, I guess, especially for us in the hobby, is usually like if you get something, you expect it within. I say a week. You should have it out. Depending on circumstances or what you tell somebody, you should obviously try to get it in the mail within, 3 to 5 days. It should be on its way to you, right?
And that's how most of us seem to be. Is I've sold a few things and bought a few things recently, and the guy's like, "Hey, I'll be able to get it out in the next couple of days," or in some cases, 2 hours later, I have a picture of the tracking number.
Yeah, for sure.
I was working on trying to get something shipped out. I sold, trying to get it out one day, and then had to bump it a day. And the guy messaged, "Hey, wanted to get tracking." Ironically enough, I'm driving down to St. Louis tomorrow, so I'm just going to hand deliver it instead. But at least give people a window. Hey, I can get it out in the next couple days, or it's got to wait till Friday because of this. If you give people a window, that helps. But it's like in the auction thing, and say, hey, it'll take 7 to 10 days to ship. Or again, this is talking about companies, not individuals. But I mean, that's a long ass time because NHL auctions then expects you to pay, or actually they auto pay, I think, for you in some cases right then. If you're on my money for 3 weeks and not shipping it, that seems like a little bit of a problem.
For sure. I work a lot and I'm a pretty busy guy. The best thing that happened is my new where I work actually now has the post office is actually like right around the bend from work. Right. So I actually can it's actually been nice for me to be able to I can just really slide over and make it pretty convenient when I do mail stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think there's always there's an expectation, but there's also should be the discussion of hey, I'm going to get it shipped to you on this day. And if and here things come up, I try never to be really pressing on my end on that, where I'm just as long as I know the person shipping it and I know they're putting an effort for it, I'm okay with a little bit of delay. But I always think that the biggest point of that is to have good communication on it.
Yeah. And if, let's say there's some times where I've had to cover work till 9 o'clock at night. There's no way I'm getting out of the office. Yeah. Just let them know, hey, this is going to be another day or so. Just communicate because everybody's going to cut you slack as long as you're being reasonable with that.
Absolutely.
So speaking of shipping.
Yeah.
And next week, the December 26th is Boxing Day, but Wade's going to be doing boxing a little early.
We
had an issue. Our one of our other lovely hosts here, of course, Justin posted a picture, and I think he put it in the groups. If not, he had shared it with us, and I know he doesn't have any issue with us showing this off, but got a package, a jersey from somebody, and it came like this.
Yeah.
The post office, which isn't always gentle with stuff, especially if it's not marked fragile, punched a hole in the box. And those boxes are stout-ish. So something
you gotta put some effort in to put a hole in that.
Yes. Doesn't look like somebody stepped on it or they jammed something through it. Yeah. But the jersey's in there underneath with nothing.
Yeah.
So Wade is going to give you some tips and show you
Yeah,
kind of the best
I
way
actually
to
grabbed stuff out of the room, and my thought process is, and we've talked about this in the past, is I have a pretty standardized way that I ship jerseys, and I guess probably the way I like to receive them as well. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to do it the exact same, but like you can buy these at your local store. These are hefty 2.5 gallon jumbo slider bags. I think these are it's like there's 10 of them in here, I think. And I think this is like $4 or $5. So it's not terribly expensive. But these are the ones I use. And I'm probably going to run out of room to show you guys this, but this is what they look like with nothing in them. And it's got a nice slide here. So this in itself would fix the Justin issue right there, right? So I use that. And then, and I'm kind of like going to show you. So jersey in a bag. And then if you squeeze that, you can squeeze all the air out of it, seal it, and it almost becomes like a vacuum seal, right? So this is how I ship everything. And you can look.
And the numbers are nice. They're not.
And I fold it a certain way. I obviously don't have the room to show the fold, but
and there's a crap ton of videos.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people put stuff in on group pages too on folding and that too. Sure. So if you're unsure, search the main group, and I think there's even some of the other side groups have helping to fold. And
I use these standard priority mail boxes. The one thing about the standard mail priority box, there's actually 2 of them. So the one that I had there is just the regular one, and it's a little thicker. And I use that one for domestic stuff. It's about $20 to ship a jersey, $18 to $22 to ship using that. I can fit 2 of those in there if you push the air of them out. And then I always get the LOA, and I usually try to put it in a sleeve, and I slide that to the front side, against the thing so it doesn't get wrinkled up too bad. To me, that is the most common and professional way to do it to ensure that the jersey is going to get there correctly. At the end of the day, in our hobby, you're trading something usually starting around $150, $200 and up to thousands of dollars. I don't care if I'm shipping a $200 jersey or a $2,000 jersey. I try to be consistent with the way I ship. Back to the boxes, there is a thinner priority mail box that is not a standard fair one, and those are better for the international stuff. I had learned that because if you try to ship one of that box international, the domestic one, they bang you pretty hard for.
Yeah, it's almost $50, I think.
Yeah, whereas if you use the other box, you'll be in the 30s or 40s depending on where it's going. So it's the same style box. It's just the international one. And usually, if you ask your post office, they'll provide you either of those. They usually have them out. Mm-hmm. You can use different shape boxes. I've just discovered that with the crest and the numbers, that size box with that bag is a really, really fine way to do it. And again, if you have another way to do it, please give us some feedback. That's why we're sharing this. But, there's a lot of young collectors and people who listen to the show who are maybe not as hobby inclined. And for me, there's nothing worse than when I get one and it's not shipped in what I consider a sanitary or safe method. Because at the end of the day, you get it and you go, oh, God. And here, if it's raining or snowing this time of year, it gets left out on somebody's porch, whatever.
And that was Justin's issue, is where he's at. It was raining, and with that hole in there, luckily, it did not get wet or nasty snow or anything. Sure. But, I mean, and again, for all the postal people, FedEx, UPS, the listeners that are collectors that work in those fields, I know, especially now, this is a thankless job. So people leave snacks or tips or something for them. But, I mean, a lot of times because they're trying to get stuff around, they're just chucking it on the porch quick. It doesn't mean it won't slide into a puddle if there happens to be one or whatever. So just watch those things. And I'll show you what I use a lot of times inside is the poly mailers, is those the Tyvek ones. I'll fold the jersey up, put it in there. It's adhesive, seal that, and then throw it in a box. I will say in some cases, depending on the jersey, and sometimes if it's going to Canada, depending on the cost, and I know people may get mad at me over this, is I will double or triple bag with these and just ship it that way.
Yeah.
These take a lot to tear.
Yeah.
And that adhesive is super strong too.
Yeah, like we said, there's different ways to do it. I actually have seen people ship jerseys with the soft postal bag ones that you can get there. Those are free. I've actually had people send the box with those inside, and that's cost effective if you don't want to spend the money on the Ziploc bags. I like those because of the thickness and the fact that I can squeeze those down and push all the air out of them, and it becomes almost like a vacuum seal, which I think saves a little bit on shipping. At least I hope it does, or I think it does. Again, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I guess the biggest thing that I think we wanted to say here was like, be cognizant of the way you ship things, because you nobody wants to be the guy that gets one that's messed up, and I don't think a lot of people want to be the person that sends one and it gets messed up. And in some cases, you may not know that you're maybe doing it kind of wrong. So ask around in the hobby. Ask one of us or send somebody a message. But there are a lot of different ways to do it. There's not really a wrong way as long as it's cared for and protected as it goes.
Yeah, and like I said, I know some people are it's got to be in a box. Bags are terrible, but when I'm doing multiple layers of bags, it will take a lot to tear through there. And and again,
I'm not a bag it guy, but like everybody likes it different, right? So
yeah, and you guys have seen me wear my Loud shirts all over. The company I get those from, Roosevelt, they come in bags like this too. So I a lot of times will recycle those.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because they're Ziploc very similar, and they'll fit different size. Matter of fact, I've the jersey I got to deliver tomorrow originally put in one of those bags inside a box to ship.
I absolutely recycle my bags too. I've actually got in my jersey room, I've got like a bin that I keep all this different stuff in, and I definitely recycle the bags. So you're not promised a new bag if I ship you something, but it will come in a bag.
And then the other side, you pick them up more, so you don't have the collection like I do. Is Rinkside Reserve, when you order the game jerseys and stuff, they send them in a very nice box with their logo and stuff. Yeah. The number of times I've recycled those over, because I keep the outside cardboard box. It comes in the brown cardboard box. Ship it that way, because it fits a jersey, because that's what came in initially. I don't care what jersey's in it going back out. I don't need piles of those boxes.
No,
so
I
recycle that way too.
I actually have a setup with those guys now that they actually don't give me the bags or the box anymore. I've told them that I can already build a fort with the boxes I have, so I don't need any more. So like, I usually go pick up my stuff, and it's always a joke. If it's in the boxes, I take them out and give them back the box before I leave for somebody else to use. Maybe save a little bit of cost for somebody, but no, here Migrate does they send in a really nice box, and they have it, folded in there nicely. And, Fanatics, here, you can say which one about Fanatics, but Fanatics always does a pretty classy shipping job with their stuff. So I guess that's the one thing that, it is one thing to show your appreciation when somebody makes a purchase from you. And it also is the same way to show appreciation and care for the stuff when you send it to somebody, is to put that little bit of effort in them.
Yeah. And I do want to mention one side note thing, and I don't know if you've seen them, and I don't know what all jerseys you had to buy to get them, but Boston, I think it was the Centennial, may have been the Centennial Gamers and the Centennial Authentics, but a bunch of them, they sent in boxes with a mini video screen in them.
Really?
And I about fell out of my chair seeing that, and was like their little intro video. And anybody I should have reached out to Tom. I may have to, after first of the year, ask if he has one, because I want to see it. But you open a box, and it's a little video screen, and does like the Boston's intro. I think you can see it on YouTube and that. But I just thought that was cool as hell, and shows what the technology has become with those screens being so cheap to be able to do those and ship them out with jerseys now.
Yeah, no,
that's a cool ass idea.
There's a lot of cool stuff out there. It's a lot of fun to see what's out there and the different ways that people do stuff. And like I said, please, I hope nobody takes this discussion the wrong way. Nobody's trying to bash anybody for what they do and or how they send stuff. And I'm not trying to bash anybody that's ever sent me anything. If you didn't send it the way I like it, but it's just a suggestion, for a little bit of a hobby standard, I guess.
At least, as a suggestion, use a size appropriate box. We've seen other pictures in the collectors groups and that where that tiny, the USPS, the small box, it's about this size square. That
you fold.
the people are balling the jersey up, put it in there.
Yeah, the same thing with bags. It's like fold it and put it in the bag. Don't just like roll it up.
It's not like laundry.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk dirty laundry, but yeah, if you're going to ship it, at least make sure so you don't get creases in the numbers and things like that.
Especially with some of those like vintage blue stuff that has the
you can crack the plastic right off.
Nothing worse than having that heat pressed layer cracked or broken, or when you open the bag, it comes out as a powder, So
and again, if you're unsure, because even folding can get tricky. I know there's been several groups have put videos out, and I believe there's one or several on YouTube. And I thank the people that have recorded those and done that, because nobody wants to watch me do that video. So the people that have put them out there, thank you.
When you sent the one that you sent me of you topless doing it was really weird.
Part two, I don't have any pants on, so
the video wasn't necessary.
Yeah, the side group chat we have for Dirty Laundry, we got to be careful. If it escapes out into the public, we're in deep trouble.
Yeah, we have a little bit of fun, but it's all good humor, right. Fun, hobby related.
But again, with getting close to Christmas, I hope people are getting the jerseys they want and are enjoying the hobby. But make sure to get out there, spend some time with family or reach out, because I know, and again, I don't expect it from anybody. I try to do it when I have time, because Christmas is always super busy for me because I'm cooking and we host here. But I appreciate people reaching out. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. It shows, again, going back to that whole friendship thing with the hobby.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of those things that I always appreciate, and I try to send them out myself. But it's nice, even if it's people you don't do a ton of stuff with, but you just know in the hobby. There's a few names that just pop right into my head that I always get a nice holiday message from, or a birthday message. And kindness isn't really the most costly thing in the world, but it is something that's very valuable. And we talk about the friendships and the relationships we all build, and the holidays are tough for people. There's some people that really do struggle with them. And sometimes this collectible hobby and the friendships that we've forged in it can help people get through the holidays. So if you're one of those people, you always have people in the hobby to reach out to, and that certainly we'll talk about jerseys and collectibles with you.
And that's the thing is if you need a break from your family, if you need to vent about whatever, reach out to any of us. We are super open with that. I sent a link. I saw somebody, a collector was selling a bunch of stuff, had it listed on eBay, jersey that this player collects, sent them the link. Haven't talked to them in probably a month and a half. Hey, thank you so much for thinking of me and sending that. I hope you're doing well. I mean, just a real quick thing. And I didn't expect anything back. I just want to send those things out when I see, because again, same thing. People help me out. Hey, see this one, thought you might be interested. Same deal. If I know somebody's collecting something, I don't know if they've seen it or not. And even if I have, I'll say, hey, thanks. A couple other people sent that. I appreciate the fact that you thought enough to reach out.
Absolutely.
Another
tags
one.
Are always great.
Yeah.
There's nothing nicer than getting tagged in something that you want. I got tagged in something just the other day, and
it's more funny when 10 people then tag you right after that.
Yeah.
So
it does. I always love that. But that's always a nice, humbling, fun thing. I made a post the other day about I think a lot of people know I collect Ryan O'Reilly, and I've gotten to a point where I'm looking. Yeah. I don't know if anybody ever do that, but no. And so I'm down to looking for a few, and it was amazing how many people kind of jumped in to help me with that project, and means a lot. So very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for my friends and the hobby, and thankful for the hobby,
yeah. I mean, if we didn't have the hobby, one, we wouldn't know each other, but we wouldn't have this. And I mean, we talk all week about, hey, what are we going to talk about this week on the show? And we start brainstorming basically right after the last show is done. What are we going to do on the next one, and planning ahead? And
yeah, like this one was just us. You know, obviously we decided to make it kind of a quick, short one, but we wanted to keep everybody, you know, used to their Thursday morning drop. And, you know, obviously, I guess good time to say next week we're going to have kind of a roundtable, bigger panel, and a lot of fun, kind of, you know, year-end wrap. And we're going to talk about some wear. You know, that's one of the big topics always is, you know, modern wear versus, you know, semi-vintage and vintage wear, and just the state of the hobby as we leave 2024. So I think that'll be a fun.
What does hammered mean in 2024 compared to 1994?
Yeah,
my
hair is what I miss more than anything from 1994.
I was a sophomore in high school in 94. So, but no, we'll touch on that. And then for right at the first of the year, we'll kind of do a kickoff for 25, what our thoughts are. I mean, we're halfway through the NHL season. Talk about what we've seen in jersey wear for this year with Fanatics. If our stance have changed on them with the game jerseys and different stuff and things like that.
Still working
a lot
on
of stuff coming. I've got had a couple of people reach out to me wanting to be guests on the show. I'm just trying to lock in some dates for those. So I'm trying to work on some pro guests as well, but it's timing and getting in with the right people. I know we got a lot of things happening for 25. The follows and the likes keep going up. I know we're up to, I think, 125 people on YouTube. Share that out with other people. I think the main collectors group is 25,000.
Yeah. I
would like to have 10% of that as across either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. One of the places is there equal 2,500. I would be ecstatic to get things like that.
Absolutely.
So if you know other collectors that may or may not be listening to this, share it out. Hopefully they've seen my annoying posts every Thursday night, Friday morning, and caught their attention. But I know everybody doesn't pay attention to that stuff all the time.
Somebody actually tagged the podcast on my personal Facebook page, and it was funny because I had about 10 people who I've ran into who were like, "Man, you do a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah."
We need to get the headshots.
I always say, yeah, me and my fellow Jersey dorks, we have a podcast, and it's awesome.
Yes, we do.
So it's a lot of fun, and hopefully people are continuing to like and enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah, and we're going into we're into year 3 now of the podcast, and I think people are enjoying it. And this next show we're really excited about. Like I say, the first time we're doing a big group, but we want to try those every so often where we bring a larger group in and do a round table type discussion on a topic. So I think it's going to be fun. But in the meantime, I hope everybody, because it's next week, hopefully you get the jerseys you want for Christmas. You enjoy time with family and friends. Take time to just chill. Today was my last day of work till January the 6th. So I'm making sure I give myself just some downtime to not think about work. I'll work on some stuff with this because, again, this podcast is never work. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I'm always thinking about, well, what if we did this? Or I want to try and tweak these things. So I'm always doing that stuff, but it's not work because it's fun.
Yeah.
So if you can decompress, even if it's just at Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, have fun with the family and just enjoy. But again, if anybody out there needs stuff, again, please reach out. And we hope Justin and Paul both had fun with their things tonight, and we will see them back next week with our roundtable. And I hope you enjoy this episode and the roundtable one. If you want to come on again, reach out to one of us. We can work on that schedule for 25. And also in the meantime, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, wherever you get your podcast. Give us a like, comment, any of those things. But until next time, Wade, thanks very much for the evening, and we'll see you soon.